The mystery of effortless advantage. Why is it that some people always seem to succeed effortlessly? Why do certain individuals rise to influence, innovation, and prominence while others labor endlessly, their efforts unnoticed, their potential unrealized? It is tempting to believe it is luck, or perhaps talent, or relentless effort. But history, relentless, unforgiving history, tells a different story. There is a subtle force, a hidden pattern, quietly guiding outcomes. It is invisible, yet decisive. It is not brute skill. It is not power claimed by force. And yet those who possess it win. And here is the most intriguing part. Most who succeed in this way do not even realize the mechanism that guides them. They act without striving. They achieve without struggle. And the world watches, puzzled, envious and unaware. Niccolò Machiavelli, centuries ago, observed this phenomenon with unparalleled clarity, not as a cynic, not as a villain, but as a forensic analyst of human behavior. He understood that history does not reward effort alone, it rewards alignment, alignment with perception, timing, and the subtle currents of influence. This documentary will uncover the secret behind this hidden trait, a trait that allows some to win without the appearance of effort. We will trace it through history, psychology, and modern life, revealing how it can be recognized, understood, and, for those who are attentive, applied. The journey ahead is not about manipulation. It is not about coercion. It is about understanding the invisible forces that shape influence, reputation, and power, and learning how to navigate them with awareness. By the end, you may begin to see the patterns you once missed, and perhaps start to wield them yourself. Why do some win without trying, and what does that mean for the rest of us? Section I. Machiavelli beyond the misconception. Niccolò Machiavelli. For centuries, his name has been whispered as a synonym for manipulation, deceit, and cold-blooded cunning. The prince, a manual of power, a guide to domination. Or so the legend says. But what if the truth is far more subtle, far more profound? Machiavelli was not a cynic. He was not an advocate of cruelty. He was a forensic analyst of human behavior, a mind trained to observe the delicate mechanisms of influence that operate beneath the surface of society. His writings are less a handbook of domination and more a map of the invisible currents that guide human decisions, alliances, and loyalties. In Renaissance Florence, power was never simply seized. It was navigated. A ruler's survival depended not on brute strength, but on understanding the psychology of allies, adversaries, and citizens alike. Machiavelli observed that societies reward behaviors that appear effortless, those that move through the currents of human expectation without resistance. Those who grasped the subtleties of timing, perception, and alignment often succeeded, without the struggle that so many others believed essential. Consider the strategic alliances that shaped Florence. Betrayals, reconciliations, public displays masking private calculations, all orchestrated not through open force, but through subtle influence, anticipation, and alignment with human psychology. People rarely obey commands, they follow patterns, signals, and expectations. They defer to those who understand the rhythm of society, who appear to act without effort, and who project competence without drawing attention to themselves. This, in essence, is the conceptual foundation of the hidden trait we explore in this documentary. It is not charm, it is not wealth, it is not the ability to dominate physically or verbally. It is the combination of awareness, reading the subtle currents of human behavior, timing, knowing when to act, pause or retreat, psychological alignment, positioning oneself in harmony with others' expectations while shaping outcomes quietly. True influence, Machiavelli suggests, is not dominance. It is strategic positioning. It is mastery over perception. It is the quiet, almost invisible alignment of oneself with the structures of human expectation and desire. And the extraordinary revelation is this: anyone who cultivates this awareness with patience, observation, and discretion can wield this subtle power, They can win without appearing to try. Machiavelli's insights, though centuries old, remain profoundly relevant. They remind us that the world rarely rewards visible effort or moral conviction alone. It rewards perceptive strategy, subtle alignment, and the ability to navigate human systems with quiet, intentional influence. And it is here, in this delicate interplay of observation, timing, and psychological acuity, that the hidden trait lies. Power, Machiavelli reminds us, is not seized by force. It is cultivated through understanding, and those who understand win, often before anyone else even notices. Section 2: The psychology of effortless influence. Effort alone rarely wins the day. History, society, and human nature have a subtle preference, a silent gravitation toward those who appear competent, aligned, and unshakable. This is the invisible machinery that underpins influence. It is not charisma, nor wealth, nor overt force. It is perception. Psychology offers insight. Humans are wired to follow patterns. We look to others for guidance, trust signals of authority, and defer to those whose competence seems effortless. Social proof, authority bias, reciprocity, these are not tricks, but deeply rooted mechanisms of survival and cooperation. Imagine a council deliberating a critical decision. One negotiator speaks calmly, observes reactions, waits for the perfect moment, and subtly frames each proposal. No raised voice, no theatrics. Yet, by the end of the discussion, the entire council aligns with his recommendation. Why? Because subtle competence is persuasive. Confidence, without aggression, becomes influence. Even in the digital age, this principle persists. Consider a content creator whose videos gain traction without a single viral gimmick. The quality, timing, and perceived expertise quietly command attention. Influence spreads silently. Recognition comes not from force, but from alignment with perception, trust, and expectation. Machiavelli observed this centuries ago. He understood that people do not follow the loudest voice or the strongest hand. They follow the subtle signal, the figure who understands the currents of human behavior and aligns with them effortlessly. Visible effort is often ignored. Strategic perception is rewarded. This is the essence of the hidden trait. It exploits neither weakness nor force, but awareness. Understanding human patterns allows one to navigate hierarchies, institutions, and social networks with minimal struggle. Labor may be visible, but influence flows silently to those who master perception. The danger lies in overvaluing visible effort. Society rewards performance that appears effortless, not because it is easy, but because it aligns with the psychology of those around you. The truly powerful know this. They move silently, strategically, observing, waiting, and acting only when their timing and alignment are perfect. To win without trying is not to cheat, it is to understand the human mind itself. Section E4: Historical masters of the hidden trait. Across history, some individuals have achieved what others could only dream of: influence, victory, and innovation. Without the strain, struggle, or spectacle that we assume is required, they possess a trait that is subtle, almost invisible, yet profoundly effective: observation, timing, discretion, understanding human behavior. These are the ingredients of what we now call the hidden trait. Take Niccolò Machiavelli's own Florence. Political alliances shifted like sand in the wind. Dukes, councillors, and mercenary captains moved with precision, not always with force. Consider Francesco Sforza, who rose to power not by open conquest, but by carefully aligning with political currents, exploiting the fears and desires of rivals, and acting only when the moment was decisive. Sforza understood the rhythm of human behavior. He won before anyone even realized the battle had begun. Or examine Abraham Lincoln. In the midst of civil war, his mastery was not brute strength, but strategic alignment, timing speeches, issuing carefully crafted policies, and maneuvering public perception. He understood that influence is rarely gained by force alone. It is cultivated quietly, with patience and precision. In business, history provides similar examples. Consider John D. Rockefeller, whose empire was not built solely through aggression or capital. He observed markets, anticipated competitors' moves, and aligned his strategies with emerging trends, often acting silently while the world speculated. Discretion, patience, and psychological insight allowed him to dominate industries without overt confrontation. And in the world of ideas, the hidden trait manifests in thinkers who influence society without fanfare. Isaac Newton, working in near isolation, developed principles that would change science forever. His influence was not imposed. It was quietly claimed through observation, experimentation, and alignment with intellectual currents of the time. These historical masters share common threads. They observe before acting, pause before speaking, and move when alignment with human behavior is optimal. Their victories are disproportionate because they leverage the hidden patterns that others fail to see. Machiavelli noted this centuries ago. Those who understand human nature and power structures achieve influence far more efficiently than those who rely on effort alone. The hidden trait is not magic. It is not charm, force, or sheer genius. It is strategic alignment, the ability to read the currents of society, anticipate behavior, and act in concert with them. It is invisible yet decisive, and as we will see, this principle transcends time, culture, and context, shaping not only history but modern life, business, and digital influence. Narrator: the masters of history won not because they tried harder, but because they understood the patterns that others ignored. Section IV, modern applications and everyday power. Centuries have passed since Machiavelli walked the streets of Florence, yet the principles he observed remain uncannily relevant. Today, the hidden trait operates not in candlelit council chambers, but in boardrooms, social feeds, political campaigns, and even dinner tables. Influence is rarely wielded through loud displays or brute effort. It thrives quietly, strategically, invisibly. Notice the pattern: subtle perception, precise timing, and alignment with expectations. The individual who masters these patterns rarely needs to dominate. Their influence emerges naturally, almost imperceptibly. Quiet leadership, narrative framing, and strategic visibility are their tools. Psychology explains why this works. Humans respond unconsciously to cues of competence, confidence, and alignment. Authority bias, social proof, reciprocity, these mechanisms operate beneath conscious awareness. When someone moves in harmony with them, they gain influence without coercion, without theatrics, without visible struggle. In personal relationships, the same principles apply. Consider negotiation, conflict resolution, or even friendships. Those who observe patterns, time their words, and align subtly with social expectations often guide outcomes more effectively than those who push with visible effort. Influence is not aggression. It is the art of quiet alignment. The hidden trait is universal. It is not mystical nor exclusive to leaders, rulers, or geniuses. It can be developed deliberately. Observation, patience, and understanding of human behavior allow anyone to cultivate influence quietly. Success is not about trying harder. It is about, and perhaps the most powerful lesson is this: visible effort often misleads. Society celebrates labor, struggle, and noise, but those who understand alignment achieve disproportionate results. The hidden trait allows one to win without visible striving, to shape outcomes without confrontation, and to influence without coercion. The pattern is simple, yet profound. Observe, align, time, act. Master this, and you wield the force that has shaped empires, industries, and ideas, all without appearing to try. The hidden trait is not luck. It is awareness, not force, but alignment, not struggle, but strategy. Section V, the 4 pillars of the hidden trait. The hidden trait, as we have seen, is not magic, luck, or charisma. It is a subtle, strategic orchestration of human behavior, and at its core, it rests upon 4 essential pillars: timeless, observable, and replicable. Pillar 1, observation. Observation is the ability to see what others overlook, to recognize patterns, motivations, and hidden intentions. Throughout history, those who succeed effortlessly have watched first, acted later. Francesco Sforza understood this. He knew the ambitions of rival dukes, the temperaments of city officials, and the loyalties of mercenary captains, all without revealing his own intentions. His victories were calculated, silent, inevitable. Human brains are wired to defer to those who understand the landscape. Observation allows you to anticipate reactions, predict behaviors, and act strategically. In essence, it is the invisible engine of influence. Pillar 2, timing. Timing is the quiet art of knowing when to act, pause, or speak. The world rewards those who do not rush, but who move in synchrony with circumstance. Abraham Lincoln exemplified this. He knew when to issue speeches, when to delay policies, and when to reveal strategic moves, shaping both public perception and political outcomes. Timing converts effort into impact and alignment into authority. Act too soon, and your influence is wasted. Act too late, and opportunity slips away. Mastery over timing is mastery over outcomes themselves. Pillar 3, alignment. Alignment is the projection of competence, credibility, and trustworthiness without drawing attention to oneself. It is the quiet signal that others unconsciously recognize: I understand, I belong, I can be followed. Newton aligned with intellectual currents, John D. Rockefeller with economic currents. In each case, success emerged not from aggression or visibility, but from being in harmony with the structures around them. The human mind defers to those who appear aligned. Subtle projection of competence opens doors that effort alone cannot unlock. Pillar 4, discretion. Discretion is the ability to influence outcomes without overtly forcing them. It is action without spectacle, persuasion without pressure. Those who master discretion shape events while appearing passive. Machiavelli observed that rulers who moved openly often faced resistance. Those who acted subtly, in concert with human psychology, prevailed effortlessly. Discretion is power made invisible. It is the final pillar that converts awareness, timing, and alignment into the perception of effortless mastery. Observation, timing, alignment, discretion. Each pillar alone holds power. Together, they create the hidden trait, the quiet engine of influence that has shaped empires, industries, and ideas. Machiavelli recognized this centuries ago, not as a formula for tyranny, but as a roadmap to understand how human behavior, perception, and social structures converge. Those who master these pillars do not merely act, they move strategically through life, winning without visible struggle, shaping outcomes without coercion. And now, with these pillars revealed, the secret is no longer hidden. The question is, will you observe, wait, align, and act? Section VI, the dangers and missteps of the hidden trait. The hidden trait is powerful, but dangerous when misunderstood. Effort alone is not influence. Noise is not authority. Visibility is not mastery. History is littered with those who believed that trying harder, speaking louder, or acting boldly guaranteed success, and were swiftly reminded otherwise. Machiavelli observed this with unflinching clarity. Those who overexpose themselves, act without strategic awareness, or confuse arrogance for confidence often suffer invisible but lasting consequences: loss of credibility, erosion of trust, and irreversible setbacks in influence. Influence, he knew, is earned quietly, sustained carefully, and maintained through discretion. Modern life provides similar lessons. In corporate environments, a manager who asserts authority can alienate colleagues. A social media influencer who overshares can lose authenticity. A negotiator who pressures too hard can erode goodwill. All these are misapplications of a principle that thrives on subtlety, timing, and alignment. The hidden trait is not manipulation, coercion, or exploitation. It is strategic psychological awareness, a mastery of human perception and social currents. Those who mistake noise for influence, arrogance for authority, or effort for power misunderstand the very foundation of its strength. Every misstep carries a cost. A single ill-timed action, a visible overreach, or a moment of hubris can undo years of subtle effort. Machiavelli warns that restraint, patience, and ethical alignment are not optional. They are the very scaffolding that supports the hidden trait. The lesson is clear: power is quiet, influence is subtle, and perception is everything. To master the hidden trait is to move deliberately, to act with awareness, to understand human nature deeply, and to respect the invisible laws of influence. Misunderstand it, and the cost is not failure alone, it is invisibility, irrelevance, and eroded trust. The hidden trait rewards the patient, the observant, and the strategic. It punishes the loud, the impatient, and the overexposed. Every success must be measured against subtlety, every action weighed for timing, and every influence cultivated in alignment with human perception. Missteps are invisible but deadly. Master the hidden trait, and you win quietly. Misapply it, and the world moves on without you, leaving your effort forgotten. Section via reflection, integration, and the price of invisible power. All of history, all of human behavior converges toward one realization: influence is rarely gained by force. Power is rarely stolen through noise or struggle. The individuals who move the world often do so quietly, invisibly, strategically. This is the hidden trait: the mastery of alignment with perception, with timing, and with influence itself without apparent effort. Observation, patience, alignment, discretion. These pillars, when combined, create a force that feels effortless but is deliberate. Historical figures understood it intuitively, modern leaders apply it unconsciously. The human mind defers to those who appear in harmony with social currents, who act with precision, who speak only when timing is perfect. To cultivate this trait, begin with awareness. Watch before acting, listen before speaking. Understand the currents that move human behavior. Patience is not inaction, it is preparation. Timing is not waiting blindly, it is knowing the moment when action carries maximum effect. Alignment comes next: project competence, trustworthiness, and credibility subtly. Do not force respect or attention, earn it by understanding expectations and positioning yourself accordingly. Discretion is the final step. Act quietly, influence outcomes without spectacle, and allow perception to do the work for you. The hidden trait is not coercion. It is not manipulation. It is a strategic awareness of human psychology, social structures, and timing. Ethical application is crucial. Without it, subtle influence becomes exploitation. Power gained at the cost of trust or morality collapses faster than visible effort ever could. Mastering this trait is not instant. It requires discipline, reflection, and continuous observation. Every decision, every gesture, every word carries weight. The reward is subtle, profound, and lasting: influence without struggle, recognition without noise, and the ability to shape outcomes without visible exertion. Power is not taken from the unaware. It is surrendered by those who mistake effort for authority, noise for influence, and struggle for mastery. Align yourself with perception, timing, and human behavior. Observe, wait, act strategically, and move quietly. In this alignment lies the hidden trait, and with it, the ability to win without appearing to try. The hidden trait is not a secret. It is awareness, patience, and alignment with the currents of human behavior. Master it quietly. Closing section. Final reflection and haunting insight. We began with a simple question: why do some individuals succeed effortlessly, while others struggle despite endless effort? History offers countless answers, but the truth is rarely visible. Power is not always taken through force, struggle, or toil. Often, it is quietly claimed by those who understand what most fail to see: the invisible currents of human behavior, timing and perception. Those who move without strain, who influence without spectacle, are not lucky. They have mastered the art of strategic alignment. They observe deeply, act at the precise moment, and position themselves where subtle influence yields disproportionate results. They cultivate patience, discretion, and awareness, shaping outcomes while remaining largely unseen. Effort alone rarely translates to impact. Noise often masks weakness. Visibility can betray intentions. True influence arises when observation meets timing, when alignment meets subtlety, and when action emerges from understanding rather than compulsion. And here is the final truth, the insight Machiavelli would recognize, whispered across centuries. Winning without trying is not luck. It is understanding what others do not see and moving when the moment is truly yours. This is not a lesson in manipulation or deceit. It is a lesson in awareness, in patience, in alignment with the subtle patterns that govern human behavior. Every decision, every word, every gesture carries weight. The invisible currents are always present. Those who perceive them navigate life with clarity, while others struggle in vain against unseen forces. So ask yourself, where do you exert effort that goes unnoticed? Where do you push against currents you cannot see? And where might you instead observe, align, and act with the precision that grants effortless influence? Power is not stolen. Influence is not forced. It is quietly claimed by those who see, wait, and move when the moment is truly theirs. The hidden trait is not secret. It is perception, patience, alignment. Master it and you win quietly.